11 o'clock meeting?
And it should be LISD.
Oh, okay, well, Dawn has a doctor's appointment. But if I have to, I'll call Yvonne. I think we'll be okay. As long as he goes first.
Morning.
Good morning.
How are you?
What's going on?
Just saying
Well, thank you.
Could you help me through these seats? Find us. For him, for
Awfully quiet.
recognitions.
You didn't hear a pin drop.
7 seconds.
All right, 7:01, let's get rocking and rolling.
Yeah, I'll get it going here in just a second, Marla, thank you.
We don't have a yellow script.
No, she doesn't have it.
Oh, wait, here it is.
Good morning, 7:02 a.m., quorum is present, and this meeting has been duly called and posted in a time and manner as according to law. So good to see so many faces here that are familiar and for the reason why we are here to have this meeting, but to have some recognition. But before we start that, I want to invite a good friend and brother in the Lord, Pastor Jose Lemus from Community Christian Church, to open the meeting with the prayer and with the pledges.
Heavenly Father, first things first, we thank you, Lord, for being a good God, for being a God of love, a God of peace, a God of wisdom. We thank you, Father, for sending Holy Spirit to help us honor our earthly responsibilities, Lord. And Father, I thank you for our school board and for everyone who's here and everyone who plays a role at Lubbock ISD, from teachers to principals to coaches and janitors, just everyone who plays a role regarding Lubbock ISD. I thank you for them, Father, and I pray that it would continue to be your grace, your love, your wisdom, your spirit, Father, that continues to guide them all, Father. And Father, I thank you for all the parents also who continue to do their part, who continue to stay involved in the lives of their kids. And we even have parents in our community, Father, who are stepping in the lives of kids who may have an absent father. But we thank you, Father, that you have raised parents in our community to do their part and to be involved in the lives of our students. And Father, I was made aware that we're going to recognize students for some accomplishments, and Father, I thank you that it's by your Spirit, Father, that our students can have success. And Father, I just humbly ask that it would continue to be your wisdom that guides our board, and we thank you for the leadership of our board. We thank you for Bill. He's a man of God, and just everyone else, Father, who has made the commitment that the best interest that they have the students' best interest at heart, Father. And we just thank you for your Spirit, Lord. This is my prayer, Lord, in your name, Christ Jesus. Amen. Amen. We will now do the American flag. I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. The Texas flag. Honor the Texas flag. I pledge allegiance to thee, Texas, one state under God, one and indivisible.
Thank you.
Thank you, Pastor. We appreciate it. To you and the Community Christian Church family, and the Lord bless you and keep you, my brother. Thank you so much. This time, item number 2 on our agenda is recognitions. I'd like to invite the Executive Director of Athletics, there you are, Coach Mike Meeks, to the podium for the recognition of our all-state, for our athletes designated to the all-state teams. Good morning, Coach.
Good morning, Pastor Stonefield, Board of Trustees, Dr. Rollo. Thank you for allowing us to recognize our kids' efforts, not only in the classroom, but on the field. We have 13 academic all-state honorees today. I want to make note that 5 of them are missing. Those that are not here are off on a baseball trip, baseball tournament this morning, so that's where they are. So, and then we have 4 all-state honorees that we'll conclude with. So let's start with the Texas High School Coaches Association academic all-state honorees. We'll start with Coronado High School. Will Edwards. Will was second team academic all-state. And also from Coronado, not in attendance, we'll still give him an applause. Jared Owens, he's played baseball, second team. These guys are coached by the new head football coach at Coronado High School, Andrew Roy, right over here. Pictures now with him.
Coronado picture.
Coronado, yeah. Come on back, Will. Come on, Chris. Yeah, right here. Good morning.
Good morning.
Okay, from Lubbock High School, Jackson Cood. Jackson was academic elite, academic all-state by the Texas High School Coaches Association. Next is Joshua Coleman. Honorable mention, academic all-state. Next is Reese Daniel. Honorable mention, academic all-state. Next is Keegan Davis. Honorable mention, academic all-state. And I'd like to make note with Keegan, we'll see Keegan back here in a couple weeks. He's fresh off of a state championship in wrestling last week. Next is manager Chloe Lottis. Honorable mention, academic all-state. And next is kicker Gabriela Trevino. Honorable mention, academic all-state. These football athletes were coached by Juan Rodriguez.
Lubbock High, let's come back.
Oh, there he is.
Get in there, Mama. She'll send you pictures. Yeah, she'll send you a link. Yeah, she'll send you all the pictures.
All right, from Monterey High School, we'll try to keep this simple. 4 of the 5 are gone to baseball, and we'll do one applause for these guys. Grayson Archer, first team academic all-state. Case Carpenter, second team academic all-state. Ian Garcia, honorable mention academic all-state. Ryan Jordan, first team academic All-State. So we give those guys a round of applause. And here representing the group is Ira Herrera from Monterey High School, second team academic All-State. These guys were coached by Judd Thrash.
We're gonna take this picture real quick. Come on in, Gus. You stay in this. You stay in this.
Oh, absolutely.
A couple more hands.
Okay, we'll finish with the All-State football honorees. The highly coveted Texas Sports Writers Association All-State honorees are from Estacada High School, Darius Alexander. Darius was first team All-State. He's a senior offensive lineman, District 248 Lineman of the Year, and he's headed to West Texas A&M to play football. Next is Keyshawn Harris. Keyshawn was second team All-State, senior linebacker, 128 tackles, 9.5 sacks, 5 forced fumbles, 3 fumbles recovered, and 1 TD. Next is Bobby Ross. Bobby was honorable mention All-State, junior running back, 149 carries, 1,565 yards, 22 TDs, and he was the South Plains Player of the Year. Next is Donovan Torres. Donovan was honorable mention All-State, sophomore defensive back, 83 tackles, 5 interceptions, 2 forced fumbles, and one fumble recovery for a touchdown. And Coach William Blaylock was their head football coach.
Continuing on with our all-state recognitions, I'd like to invite Mr. Andrew Babcock, the Executive Director of Fine Arts, to the podium to recognize our all-state musicians. Good morning, Mr. Babcock.
Morning, Pastor Stubblefield, Board Trustees, Dr. Rolo. Thank you for making time to do this. We had 8 Lubbock ISD band and choir students that made All-State honors this year. 7 of those earned the recognition for the TMEA All-State, and 1 student for the All-State designation in the Texas Small School Bands. The All-State performing groups represent the highest possible level of musical achievement in band, choir, and orchestra in the state of Texas. And all of these young musicians got to perform in San Antonio, just not 2 weeks ago. So fantastic job, really proud of these guys. But first, from Estacada High School, we have Justice Gonzalez. Jose Fernandez is his band director. I don't know if we want to take a picture of all these at the same time, or do you want to do just the
Schools, we're gonna do each school.
schools?
Yeah.
Okay, so bring directors up. Miss Wilbanks, there she is.
Congratulations.
Yeah, come on.
from Coronado High School. She's not here this morning, but Addie Shaw, and her director is her father, Josh Shaw. And we'll skip down. Actually, we'll bring the choir kids in. These are band kids, but the choir kids from Coronado High School. We're going to go a little bit out of order here so we can do a picture with all the Coronado family there. Amira Bryant. And this is her second year as an All-Stater. And then we have Landry Esconbedo. And last but not least, Jordan King. And Gershom Garcia is their director.
Coronado? John?
John, coming up.
All in accordance. You as the right.
Important people that have keys.
Band directors. And from Lubbock High School, unfortunately he's not here. Mason Taylor, he is off doing amazing things at the academic decathlon this morning. So, I mean, we got high flyers all over the place doing things, but nonetheless, let's give him a round of applause. And now from Monterey High School, we have Nathaniel de Ungria. I'm sorry. And then by far the loudest trombone player this side of Mississippi, we have John McWilliams. And their director is Mr. Rodney Gurley.
Your punishment is you have to get your picture taken with us.
Good job, guys. Thank you, Mr. Babcock. At this time, I'd like to invite Amy Baker, the Executive Director of Career and Technical Education, for the recognition of our Future Business Leaders of America State Qualifiers.
Good morning, President. Good morning, Board
Good
of
morning.
Trustees. February is CTE month, so this is an exciting time to be able to start recognizing our students who participate in a variety of career and technical education student competitions. Today it is my privilege to recognize students from Coronado High School's chapter of Future Business Leaders of America. We do have two students who could not be here with us today, but they were both first place qualifiers. So I'd like to take a moment to recognize Madeline Johnson, who was first place in coding and programming, and Connor Lee, who was first place in cybersecurity. Could we give them three additional state qualifiers who will be representing us? I am excited to introduce to you Maxwell Campbell, first place in computer programs. Nope, wrong name. Connor. Connor, did you just tell me I messed that up? Connor Lee is here with us today, first place in cybersecurity. I won't miss this next one. I had the opportunity to watch this young lady compete. She did an outstanding job. Third place in impromptu speaking, Miss Natalie Flores. And another first place winner in the area of journalism, please congratulate Miss Natalie Jones. These students are coached by business teacher Wendy Jones at Coronado High School. Congratulations.
Right, group picture.
I can run across.
Excuse me.
Yeah, I think that's it.
Is that it, Phil?
That's it.
Okay.
We want to thank the parents for all that they've done, everyone who's invested in each one of these students being recognized all state. We're going to give you an opportunity to go out, take some pictures with them as we're going to adjourn to executive session. An executive closed session will be held under the provisions of Texas Government Code, Chapter 551. It's 7:22 a.m. and we are adjourned to executive session. At 7:46 a.m., we are reconvened from executive session. Before we get to the business of executive session, we want to sort of rewind back to recognitions for a special moment. So I will again call Mr. Andrew Babcock, our Executive Director of Fine Arts, to the podium for a special recognition at this moment.
Thank you, Pastor Stubblefield. Well, as you are well aware, there's some amazing construction happening in Lubbock. And we had a little mishap with our cell phone service and all the things, and so we lost one of the sheep and we have found him. So Addison Shaw is a second-year All-State member, and we want to make sure to get her recognized for her accomplishments this year at the TMEA All-State Award as award winner there. So Addison Shaw, congratulations. And again, her average mediocre band director is her father, Josh Shaw.
All the special attention.
Make it family fair here.
Yes, sir.
Save the best for last.
It's warm. Is it warm in here?
At this time, do we have any business that we need to conduct after the closed session?
Yes, but I don't want to say it. No.
Trustee Chavez.
Yes, I do. I move that we hire Christopher Lopez as the Executive Director for Teaching and Learning for Elementary.
We have a motion. We have a second.
Second.
We have a motion and a second. All those in favor, please indicate by saying aye.
Aye.
All those opposed, same. Motion passes unanimously.
First of all, I'd like to thank the Board of Trustees, Dr. Rollo, for allowing me the opportunity to lead, Misty Reber for believing in me, Dr. Stevens and McCall for the continued guidance. To Kim Callison, I look forward to working and learning from you. I can't wait to streamline, save, and support. To my OLS family, thank you for being part of my essential development capacity, building love for community and memories. To my OLS administrative team, I've got some in the back as well. Thank you for having my back. We led together. My family and friends for always being here and supporting me. I've got my mom, my sister, and my niece here, along with my father-in-law. To my children, Conrad, Barron, and Crosby, that are sitting right there. Thank you for being my why. I work so hard every day in hopes that one day you'll catch me in an act of excellence. And most importantly, I'm going to recognize her. I'm going to
Good
job. Look over her and say, thank you to my wife, Jessica, for always being the strong support system, to being my chief consoler on the heaviest of days and my biggest cheerleader on the best of days. So thank you, my love. I appreciate it. I'm thrilled to begin this new opportunity, Board. Teaching and learning has always been embedded in everything that I've done, from being a teacher, an instructional coach, an assistant principal, recently a principal, and now the executive director. I'm an instructional leader of OLS, and now I'll do the same thing at the district level. I can't wait to collaborate and innovate with the teaching and learning team so we may nurture, develop, and inspire every child every day. Thank you so much for the opportunity. I really do appreciate it.
No, you're fine. Yeah, I'm hyped up on the little one over there.
Was he jumping up and
He
down?
was doing it. He was doing it. He can't sit still. I want to see him break through here or something like that. Thank you, Mr. Lopez. We appreciate you, and thank you to your family as we get ready to move forward, we're excited with what you're going to bring to the table.
Thank you.
Absolutely.
Appreciate it.
Thank you so
This
much.
is bittersweet, you know that, we've worked together at OWL. I just want to thank you for everything you've done. As you said, you have a plan laid out for your staff, and I know that it's going to work because you care for everybody, and now you're going to be at a greater level. Thanks, Chris, for all you've done and your beautiful family. Gracias for everything. God bless you.
Thank you, sir. We'll continue with the further business of executive session. Do we have any other items following the executive
Yes, sir,
session?
President Stubblefield.
Trustee Bridges.
I move that we hire Robin Fulbright as the Executive Director of Teaching and Learning for Secondary.
We have a motion. Do we have a second?
Second.
We have a motion and a second. All those in favor, please indicate by saying aye.
Aye.
All those opposed, same. Congratulations, Robin.
I just want to say thank you to the board, to Dr. Rollo, to my Lubbock ISD family. Thank you for trusting me in this. As I've considered what I might say to you to express my gratitude, I am reminded of a sermon that my pastor Doug Holcomb shared with us. I will not share the sermon, but I will share the metaphor that he used. He was talking about when you are on mission, that you can consider it a road trip, and that it's important that you glance back in the rearview mirror and you consider lessons learned. You look back with gratitude. But of course, you look forward to the journey ahead and to the goals that are on the horizon. So as I look back, I am so incredibly grateful for the men and the women who have invested in me professionally. I was hired 32 years ago by Principal Sue Bounds to teach at Murphy Elementary, followed a few years later by Dr. Rollo being my principal at Murphy Elementary. And I can tell you that I got to see her live out the core values of valuing data, loving people, and developing leaders. I think I stand here as a testament to that investment she made in me years and years ago. I am very grateful for the time I've already spent at Central Office in the Leadership and Professional Development Department, 6 years under the leadership of Anna Jackson. And I had the most phenomenal teammates, Misty Reber and Martha Dodge, alongside me, teaching me how to invest in adults as opposed to investing in the kids. So I've had wonderful tutelage along the way. And I will be forever grateful to Dr. Amy Stevens and Mr. Jack Perkypile for having the vision to create an academic dean position and for selecting me to be the first academic dean at Monterey and in the district. To the staff and faculty at Monterey, I love them dearly. I appreciate the way they invited me in with my elementary experience, trusting me at the high school level, and together we built an amazing team, and I am forever grateful as I glance back. But as I look forward and I look to the vision ahead, I am filled with excitement. I am so thankful to get to work with Kim Callison, with Chris Lopez, with the wonderful instructional coaches and specialists in the teaching and learning field. I am excited to get to continue my relationships with secondary administrators and with secondary academic deans. So I just want you to know that the same level of commitment that I have brought to the other parts of my journey, I am going to continue in this role, and I appreciate the trust. I want to introduce my husband. This is Russ Fulbright. We have been married for 33 years, and we have two beautiful children who unfortunately could not be here today, but both are success stories of Lubbock ISD.
Nice.
My daughter Holly went to Murphy Elementary, then to Hutchinson Middle School, and she graduated in 2015 as a Lubbock High Westerner. She is now a second-year law student with Notre Dame University, and
Nice.
she's on a plane going to Scotland right this very second. So she cannot be here today. My son went to Murphy Wyatt. He went to Murphy Elementary. He went to Evans Middle School, and then he was a proud graduate of Monterey in 2020, and he's currently a senior. We are hoping for a graduation in May with a degree in medical humanities and biology. So thank you for trusting me in this position, and I look forward to one day standing here again bringing you some good news about achievement and growth in our secondary
Nice.
system. So,
We
thank you.
look forward
Thank
to
you.
it.
Before we move to the next item, I would like to just share that we are so very excited about the restructuring of our curriculum and instruction department to a teaching and learning department. And you heard Mr. Lopez say streamline, save, and support. These two positions may look like we're actually adding positions, but we're not. We've actually streamlined that department to be more in line with what other districts our size have already done. Our curriculum and instruction department was designed for writing curriculum, and that's not what we do anymore. We have curriculum that is aligned to the state standard. So really these roles are going to be more about fidelity of implementation of curriculum. And so we've actually streamlined that department by about 8 positions. So this is actually a savings for the district, but bringing in 2 incredibly talented people who understand what it means to be an instructional leader, who will help guide our campus leadership teams around fidelity of implementation of quality instructional materials. So we're excited about both of these folks. They're going to do a phenomenal job.
Thank you so much, Dr. Rollo.
And I want to thank Kim Callison and Misty Reber for their vision around this restructuring as well.
Innovative minds behind the streamlining, which is necessary today with the financial hurdles that every school district is facing. Thank you all so much. The next item, do we have any other further items from the executive closed session?
Yes, sir.
Trustee Ratliff.
I move that we hire Dr. Dwayne Wilkins as the Chief Financial Officer.
We have a motion. Is there a second?
So moved.
We have a motion and a second. All those in favor, please indicate by saying aye.
Aye.
All those opposed, same. Motion passes unanimously. Welcome aboard, Dr. Wilkins.
Pastor Stubblefield, Board of Trustees, Dr. Rollo, thank y'all very much for this opportunity and to join the Lubbock ISD family. And listen to these two speak is a testament of why it's so awesome to join this family, is because their excitement is what makes this place great. And when I interviewed and talked to the cabinet and talked to multiple people, this is a great place. And I knew it from day one. And my heart felt it. And the love of the people, the love of the students. And it's right, every child, every day. You can see it in these people. And I'm excited to join that and become a part of this and push forward with that. And Ms. Jennings, leaving some big shoes to fill, and the legacy that she has created. And I hope that I can measure up to what you've established here. And so I'd like to introduce a couple of people I brought with me. I have my wife, Katie. I'd like to thank her for everything she's done. She supported me. I've been in administration for many years, and as y'all know, that's a tough spot, and she's been there for me. My daughter, Jonna, she'll be joining Lubbock High, and my son, Brayson, who will be at Hutch Middle School. So thank y'all very much for this opportunity. I'm excited to be working with y'all.
Thank you. Before we move to a recess, so in order for us to take pictures, I want to go ahead and let's move to trustee comments. I think it's appropriate at this time. So I'd like to open up the dais for any comments based on recognitions and the hirings.
I'll just start with saying I'm very excited about our realignment in the teaching and learning department. I think it's the right direction for us to go. I loved your metaphor, Robin, of the journey backwards and forwards. So I think we have great things ahead, and it's really aligning us to success. So thank you for what you bring to the table and what you're going to bring to the table. And to our new CFO, welcome. This is going to be a fun season. We're about to hit the ground running. So thank you very much for your investment here at Lubbock ISD, and we're looking forward to great things ahead too. Thank you. Welcome.
I just want to, you guys saw the testament with our students coming through and all what they have accomplished. This is what LISD has done. This is what we have grown. And I'm so very proud of our teachers, our staff, administrators that have helped them to grow, to come where we're at. But Chris, again, I've said it time and time again, you're phenomenal. You always have been. You're an asset to the district, big time. Congratulations. Welcome on board. I appreciate you. And yeah, you're right. You do have big shoes to fill. We love Shay dearly, and I know that you'll be great because you were picked by Kathy and Cabinet. So we look forward to seeing you get to work. Shay, thank you for all you have done. You'll be greatly missed. Hopefully we'll get to see you, but God bless you for sure. Am I missing somebody, guys? Who else? Mrs. Fulbright. Thank you. Thank you so much for all these years. And it sounds like you've had a great mentor all along in every step of the way. And I think you're going to now continue to make other folks climb that ladder as you have too. So may God continue to bless you and your family. Thank you for staying on board.
Kudos to all the kiddos that we recognize today. I love the fact that so many missed because they had other activities. I think many of our kids, you know, a lot of people don't give credit to the extracurricular activities, but for a lot of kids, that's what keeps them engaged and keeps them going, regardless of what they're going to do later on in life. And I think being part of team sports, there's things that you learn that cannot be taught in the classroom. So I love that we honored those. Chris, you won the press conference several years ago. I made a comment to you, and you and your team have done a phenomenal job. So could not be more proud of what y'all have accomplished and what you have laid out in front of you, and wish you nothing but the best, and so pumped that you're staying within the district. Robin, having a somewhat of a front row seat to what you've accomplished, I know the district will benefit greatly, and so I'm sure Jack is crying on the way home, but excited for what you're going to bring throughout the district. And then Dwayne, look forward to getting to know you. Man, we're at a crossroads in this district for a myriad of reasons, and so you may regret having applied. But you know, we look forward to you working with Shay and her team and taking over in the interim. So
I would start by recognizing our students. The academic all-state is so impressive because it means not only are you with giving all that you have to that extracurricular activity, you're also excelling at academics. And so congratulations. To Chris and Robin, I would say the biggest compliment that could be paid to you is the hole that is being left in the position you're transitioning from. And the students and faculty and supervisors that are genuinely going to miss the leadership that you've brought every day. But without getting those opportunities, you couldn't be put into this, given this new opportunity. So I'm sure we'll find great people to replace you, but just know that your performance has been noted, and we wish you luck in your new roles. And Dr. Wilkins, I would say that anyone that has the endorsement of Dr. Glenn Teal comes with a lot of higher expectations for all of us that have gotten to work with him in the past. So as Mr. Curry said, we are at a crossroads. We do have a lot of financial decisions to make, and we've been blessed to have Shay helping us make those decisions for many years. And big shoes, but we know you're up to the task. So congratulations to all of you.
I'll just chime in real quick. I had the same thoughts that Curry had, just with regard to all the students that are being acknowledged and so many that couldn't be here because they're doing other things. I mean, it's really impressive. I think, you know, in life we have to wear multiple hats, and these kids are getting really well trained to do that, and I'm glad that they have the initiative to do it. Just as importantly, I think we need to also acknowledge the parents and faculty, because those kids, you know, to be able to do that, it takes a lot of support. And it's not always just at home, it's at school, and it's not just always teachers, it's everybody that's at the school. So very proud to hear about that. To the appointments for Chris and Robin, congratulations. I know it comes very well earned from, you know, from what I've heard and what I've seen. I think Kathy and her team should also be commended for working in a very strategic manner to do things with a very thoughtful and considerate process to make sure that, you know, we're still being stewards to the school and that we're doing things, you know, in a responsible manner. Now comes the execution, right? So that's the biggest part, is the execution, and I have no doubt that you guys will do that. And to the Wilkins family, welcome to Lubbock. I don't know how long y'all been here, but I'm glad that y'all made it. Yeah, came in hot, right?
Cup of coffee.
Yeah, it's all right. But no, anyway, welcome, and I'm glad that your students will be at Lubbock High and Hutch, and then of course, Shay, I know we'll have a time to do it later, but good grief, you've done such a great job, and I'm very, very happy to know, and I support the fact that you'll be able to have a transition period with Dwayne and be able to hand that off, because I know that's going to be really very beneficial for all of us here in LSD.
And I'll be brief, and I'll just piggyback on what Pastor Holcomb said. Sounds like a very wise man and a dear friend as well. You know, the destination oftentimes we put it as a priority and we forget about the journey in and of itself. I enjoy a road trip primarily because of the people that I'm on the journey with. You can be on a plane for 4 hours or on the road for 6 or 10. But when you have the right people in the vehicle with you or on the drive or taking that journey, it goes by so fast. And that's what has happened with all of the ones that are leaving legacies. Shay, it seemed like just yesterday that we were announcing you, and we are a better district because of you. But with the energy that's behind you and the excitement, I think we're going to be okay. So let's enjoy the journey because we'll blink and it'll be over, and all too soon. So we're excited about what the future holds, and that includes our students and our parents that are along for this ride. It is an amazing journey to be on this trip that we call public education. Thank you to each and every one of you that are part of the journey. We appreciate you. Dr. Rello?
We're just incredibly grateful and looking forward to working with all three of you. Thank you.
All right. This time we're going to stand in recess for about 5 minutes, 8 on the plus side, coming back at 8:15.
Yay.
is 8:21, and we are back from the recess. And we'll continue on with the next item on the agenda, which is item number 6, public hearing. The 2023 Texas Academic Performance Report, or TAPER. And so it is, again, 8:23 a.m., and we will move into the open called public hearing. The purpose of our public hearing is to hear comments from the public on the 2023 Texas Academic Performance Report. I will now invite Miranda Rubalcaba, Executive Director of Assessment and Accountability, to the podium to present the report. Good morning.
Good morning, Miranda.
Good morning, Board of Trustees, President Stubblefield, Dr. Rollo. The following slides pertain to the 2023 Texas Academic Performance Report, or the TAPER, from the 22-23 school year. The Texas Education Code requires districts to publish an annual report and hold a public hearing that includes, among other things, the TAPER. Districts are required to post this information in a variety of locations and make it available to anyone who requests it. Among these requirements are posting district status for district accredited, district accountability rating, not available due to pending litigation, financial rating, A superior, special education determination status, also not available. Let's begin with our district performance from 22-23. The following slides show a quick performance overview by subject compared to the state. On the left is a comparison for reading by grade level, or EOC, at the approaches performance level. On the right is a cumulative view at the approaches, meets, and masters performance level. Third and fourth grade RLA approaches scores outperform the state. While RLA master's levels dropped slightly from the previous year, all levels have increased from 2018. For math, Lubbock ISD exceeded the state at the approaches performance levels in 3rd, 4th, and 5th grades. This graph shows the math sum percent history at each level for the past 5 years, with increases in the approaches and meets levels from the previous year. Shown here is a quick view of Lubbock ISD science results for 5th, 8th, and biology EOC, with 5th grade and biology approaches levels surpassing the state. Here we have the science 5-year sum percent by performance level. LISD showed increases in approaches and meets from 2022. Last are comparison results for Lubbock ISD Grade 8 Social Studies and U.S. History EOC, with LISD U.S. History scores matching the state. And here are the social studies sum percent by performance level. This graph shows comparisons to the state when all grades are summed by subject, along with cumulative by performance level of all grades and subjects. Overall grades and subjects combined, broken down by performance level for the past 5 years, can be seen here. Approaches and meets performance levels were at their highest since at least 2018. Last year, we also received scores for academic growth in reading and math. Here we have our academic growth comparison to the state in both reading and math for all students, and for our accelerated learners, who are students that failed the previous year. You can see that LISD outperformed the state in meeting the needs of our lowest performing students. And here we have our 2023 academic growth compared to 2022. 2023 was the first year for English 1 to count towards academic growth. The district taper includes a bilingual education ESL section. This bar graph compares the all subject approaches performance level for the state and district to the district bilingual and ESL programs. Students receiving services outscored students with parent denial of services. And shown here is a 4-year comparison by program.
They're doing awesome. Bilingual's great.
Now let's move to the district profile section of TAPER. Our district enrollment since 2000-2001 school year has fluctuated. Currently, we are in a downward trend since the 2014-15 school year. This is the ethnicity breakdown comparing the district to the state. LISD has a higher percentage of African American, Hispanic, and American Indian students than the state. When looking at the district ethnicity breakdown over the past 10 years, our Asian, American Indian, and African American groups have held steady. Our Hispanic student group has increased, and white student group has decreased in number. The TAPER reports total number of students by grade and the average class size compared to the state. With the exception of kindergarten and foreign language, Lubbock ISD is at or below the class size of the state. Lubbock ISD percentage of economically disadvantaged students increased from the previous year and is higher than the state. When comparing district programs to the state, both in 2014 and 2023, the percentage of bilingual education has increased. The percentage of GT students is closer aligned to the state's percentage, and both the district and state percentages continue to increase for the number of students being served by special education programs. For an apples-to-apples comparison, total staff breakdown was reconfigured to exclude auxiliary staff, since those services are contracted out. Lubbock ISD staff breakdown is very close to 2014 numbers. The central office administration staff percent is lower than the state average. The district's professional staff, which are campus admin, professional support, and teacher, make up 76% of total staff, compared to the state's 63%. When looking at teachers by years of experience, Lubbock ISD has a higher percentage of teachers than the state with 5 or less years of experience. This has increased since 2014. 62% of LISD teachers have 10 or less years of experience compared to the state's 57%. This circle graph shows the 2021-2022 actual financial data breakdown compared to 2012-2013. Our actual per student revenue was $12,737, an increase of $495 from the previous year. Let's take a look at our college and career readiness indicators for 22-23. Since this data represents annual graduates following into the next fall, it is lagging data from the 2021-2022 school year, almost 2 years old. Longitudinal graduation rates follow a cohort of students beginning their 9th grade year. What percent graduated in 4, 5, or 6 years? And look at each class by those who graduated and received a Texas Certificate of High School Equivalency, continued and enrolled in the fall, and dropped out or did not return in the fall. When looking at students who graduated in 4, 5, or 6 years, LISD graduation percentages were slightly lower than the state. The percent of students graduating on time in 4 years dipped in 2022. This comparison to the state shows the percentage of 2022 graduates under the Recommended or Distinguished Achievement Programs or the Foundation High School Program with an endorsement or at the distinguished level of achievement. Longitudinal rates only include the cohort of students beginning their 9th grade year in 2019. Annual rates include all students graduating in 2022. The college and career or military ready graduate component is the percentage of annual 2022 graduates who meet at least one of the 9 criteria. This component is divided up into 2 areas: college readiness, which is meeting criteria in one of the 5 indicators, and career or military ready, meeting criteria on one of the last 4 indicators. The blue table shows that the overall number of Lubbock ISD had 77.3% of its 22 graduates meet at least one of the 9 criteria. Average ACT scores for the district 2022 graduates were higher than the state average. As a reminder, the district SAT results include the district initiative of testing all 11th grade students each year. This report from the Texas Higher Education Coordinating Board shows where 2021 graduates enrolled following high school, along with their first-year GPA. Students attending private or out-of-state universities are not included. 60% of students enrolling in a 2 or 4-year university had a C average or higher after their first year, 55% a B or higher, and 41% an A average. We are required to report campus and district progress toward our House Bill 3 goals for early childhood literacy, math, proficiency, and CCMR. Our first goal is for 3rd grade reading and math. 43% of campuses met the reading goal of 52%, and 57% of campuses met the math goal of 44%. As a district, 54% of students passed the reading assessment and 47% passed the math assessment, resulting in the district meeting both math and reading goals. Our next goal is for 8th grade. We had 44% of the campuses meet the reading goal of 44%. For math, we had 44% of the campuses meet the goal of 25%, which is a double from the previous year. As a district, reading and math scores were at 50% and 24% respectively, resulting in the district meeting the reading goal for 8th grade. Finally, we have our CCMR goal with 50% of campuses exceeding the 78% goal. As a district, 77.3% of LISD seniors earn CCMR credit, not meeting the district CCMR goal. The district is required to include on their annual report the report on violent or criminal incidents by campus. Shown here is the report from 22-23 with a number of incidents reported by campus. In closing, here are some of the accomplishments of Lubbock ISD. The district approaches score for reading language arts surpassed the state in both 3rd and 4th grade. 3rd, 4th, and 5th grade math approaches scores outperform the state. 5th grade science and biology approaches scores outperform the state. All subjects combined approaches and meets performance level were the highest they have been in at least the last 5 years. And the district met 3 out of 5 House Bill goals. That concludes my presentation. Do you have any questions?
Well,
Thank you, Miranda.
Okay, thank you.
thank you for all you've done. I think that this is hard work. Numbers are awful, but at the end of the day, I see the progress. We have been fluctuating, and I see that, but thank you for all you do, Miranda.
Thank you, Miranda.
Do we have anyone that has requested to sign up to speak to the taper report?
We do not.
We do not. Seeing that there are no comments regarding the taper, we now close the called public hearing and reconvene the regular meeting of the Board of Trustees. The next order of business is citizens' comments. Before we begin, I would like to review the provisions of board policy governing the procedures for public participation as reflected in BED local. The audience shall not enter into discussion or debate on the matters being considered by the board. I will remind the members of the board that the citizens' comment section of our board meeting is for the purpose of listening to patrons, but we are not allowed to comment or debate on issues that are not posted. No presentation shall exceed 3 minutes, and a timer will go off at the completion of 3 minutes. I would ask that you conclude your comments within the time limit allowed. As I call your name, if you would come up to the podium and state your name for the record. First, I'd like to invite Savannah Garcia to the podium.
I'm Savannah Garcia, and I was wanting to kind of get an insight more on y'all's approval over the employment and volunteers of chaplains in our schools. I know that I saw that there was the approval for it, and kind of wondering how there might be a way to ensure that these chaplains won't be attempting to convert certain students to whatever domination that they do believe in, because that is one of the concerns that I have as a parent. And I want to make it, especially because I have small children who, you know, question certain things, and I don't want them to be led to further confusion.
Thank you so much. And just to give some clarity, Ms. Garcia, as I know that you're actually asking, this is citizens' comments, so the purpose of this portion of the board agenda is for you to make a statement. So we're interpreting your comments in the manner that you are basically not for the chaplaincy. Thank you so much. This time, I'd like to invite Taylor Gorman to the podium.
Good morning, Board of Trustees, President, Pastor Stubblefield, Dr. Rollo. I apologize for my dress code. I do want to note that I have a sick baby in the ICU, and so I've been spending the majority of my nights there, and it's kind of awkward getting dressed in the bathroom. So I would like to start by saying that as a parent, our number one job is to protect our children, but at the end of the day, some things just happen. Have any of you seen SpongeBob SquarePants? So last week when it snowed, on the LISD Facebook page, there was a photo of a meme of SpongeBob, and he was sign languaging communication at the top. And I'll admit, I would have thought that the photo was funny, but to me, I had a bad experience, and it was pretty unpleasant to the point where I would like to address you guys regarding the incident. On February 1st, Dad went to pick up our 7-year-old first grader from school at 3:25. He was told that our son was not there and that he had been put on the bus. The problem is my son has not rode the bus in over 60 days. We have been picking him up. I did not know about my child being misplaced until the daycare instructor called to ask if I knew that my son was there. I can't reach Dad as he's worried in the office, and whenever I call to ask where my son is, I'm told that there is a miscommunication. My son was missing for approximately 20 minutes. Frankly, I don't care if it was even 2 minutes. I had properly communicated via email on November 30th, 2023, that my son would no longer be riding the bus due to bullying, effective immediately. Can you imagine how hysterical we felt to not know how our son, who is autistic, was feeling during that time? Thank God the daycare instructor was at the building. God forbid he didn't decide to get off of that bus. Whenever he arrived home, he was in tears. He stated, "I told them that my mom was picking me up and that I was not supposed to get on that bus anymore. They weren't listening to me. I was really scared." Can you imagine? Although faculty apologized to Dad, we never heard anything further regarding the incident. I even drove up to the administrative office instantly, quicker than it took to retrieve our son. Attempting to further my communication, I was told that nobody was available to speak to me. Nobody at all. Thankfully, Sergeant Green was kind enough to hear my outcry and witness my pain as a mother. Sergeant Green, if you're listening, thank you. Respectfully, I can't help but to think that if it were any of your children, the situation would have been taken more seriously. He could have been abducted. He could have been hit by a vehicle, lost forever, because I trusted somebody to protect him. I'm not here to point fingers or to get anybody in trouble. In fact, I'm choosing forgiveness. As I understand, some things just happen. I will leave this building with the following request: communicate, acknowledge the incident, and prevent this from happening to the next child. Thank you all.
Thank you, Taylor. At this time, I'm going to take a leave from the proceedings of the board, and Vice President Bridges shall have the chair and conduct the remainder of this meeting. I've got to catch a flight. I do want to make sure that the dais and the rest of the colleagues understand that I will be voting in the affirmative in support of the resolution for our chaplains as presented. Thank you. Have a blessed day.
Thank you, President Stubblefield. Safe travels to your destination, to the journey ahead. All right, we will move on to Section 8 of our agenda, which is financials. Before we begin, do we have any members of the public who would like to address the board regarding any of the board agenda items posted? All right, hearing none, we will move to the approval of the budget summary for the month ending December 31st, 2023. Shay, I'll turn it over to you.
Good morning, Board of Trustees, Dr. Rollo. Yes, I'll just kind of hit the highlights for December 31st. We had three major amendments for the month. 1.1 million fund balance designation for the purchase of 3 activity buses. Then we had $300,000 fund balance designation for Beyond District. We budget $100,000, and as competitions take place, we go in and recognize the other 300. So we have a total of 400 designated for the year for Beyond District. And then $718,000 for hail damage, so we can repair roofs. Other than that, if you have any questions, I'll be happy to answer them.
Trustees, any questions? All right, do I have a motion to approve the December financials as presented?
So moved.
Thank you. We have a motion and a second. All those in favor, please indicate by saying aye.
Aye.
Any opposed, same sign. Motion carries unanimously. Thank you. Okay, consent agenda. Next on the agenda. Consider board approval of the minutes for the special call meeting held January 16th, 2024, and the regular meeting and workshop held January 25th, 2024. Do we have any corrections to the minutes from the January meetings of the board as printed and distributed? Hearing none, the minutes are approved as printed. Section 10, academic action items. Approval of resolution for extracurricular status of the 4-H organization. Dr. Rollo.
Yes, so this is an annual item that we bring to you. The state 4-H organization requires the board to pass a resolution that 4-H is an approved extracurricular activity. And we do have several students who participate in 4-H.
Is that elementary level? What levels are those?
Secondary.
Secondary, okay. Okay, thank you. Any other questions, comments, trustees? All right, do I have a motion to approve the extracurricular status of the Lubbock County 4-H organization?
So moved.
Okay, thank you. We have a motion and a second. All those in favor, please indicate by saying aye.
Aye.
Those opposed, same sign. Thank you, motion carries unanimously. Okay. Approval of the Head Start carryover application. Dr. Rollo.
Yes, so Head Start requires that if we have any carryover money, that the board approves our plan for spending that carryover money. We do have $681,000 in carryover, so you can see on your packet what the plan is for spending that money. Happy to answer any questions.
So is it professional development mostly?
The largest portion of that is for professional development for the Head Start teachers and teaching assistants. There is some that is allotted for classroom and office supplies, and then we've allotted some for promoting enrollment for next school year.
All right. Any other questions, trustees?
Yes, I have a question, Kathy.
Mr. Chavez.
So can that money be used for anything?
I don't know the answer to that. Do you know, Misty?
I believe you do an amendment to the grant, and they have a line item. It's not used for salaries or for that type of money. That's why they're putting it supplies and professional.
Okay. Thank you.
All right. Do I have a motion to approve the Head Start carryover application?
So moved.
Second.
Thank you very much. All those, we have a motion and a second. All those in favor, please indicate by saying aye.
Aye.
Opposed with the same sign. Thank you. Motion carries unanimously. Okay. Item C, approval of memorandum of understanding, MOU, with Angelo State University for dual credit program.
Yeah, so if you'll recall, we started partnering with Angelo State University for dual credit at both Monterey and Talkington. And this is actually an amendment to the MOU because the legislative session has approved that students who are considered low socioeconomic can now get dual credit for free. So this is amending our current MOU to allow students to have access to that program that came
They
out of
get
the
credit for what, Kathy? I'm sorry.
dual credit
Okay.
hours. In the past, they've had to pay, it's a small fee, but they've had to pay a fee. But now our students can access these courses without the fee.
Okay, nice.
I probably should know the question, the answer to this, but why do some of our schools partner with certain higher ed and some don't? Like, this is only Monterey and Talkington. Why wouldn't it be an option for all of our high schools?
So, we partnered with South Plains College for years and
Yeah.
years, and Angelo State approached us and wanted to be our partner on dual credit. So we actually are doing it both. So South Plains is covering the other schools, but Monterey and Talkington wanted to try Angelo State.
So it's a high school, like the principal decides.
It is, but our CTE courses are they're all through South Plains for the entire district. So we have quite a few courses that everybody does at South Plains and then some that we're doing at Angelo State. So, and they had some online options that were helpful for some of our kids to be able to have access if we didn't have a teacher that was qualified with the master's degree to teach dual credit. So it allowed us to still have access to those dual credit courses.
And I will share that the competition has actually made both organizations much better. So it's been a good practice.
And South Plains also honors the new FAST, which is the legislation where you have free access. They just are not requiring a new MOU to make that part of the process.
Gotcha.
But all of our kids for this school year get free access to dual credit if you're on free and reduced lunch.
And how many years have we done this with Angelo State, Mrs.?
Oh, it's
This
been
is our third.
third
Okay,
year.
third. So has improved both.
Yes, yes.
Okay. Any other questions, trustees? All right. Do I have a motion to approve the memorandum of understanding with Angelo State University for the dual credit program at Monterey High School and Talkington School for Young Women Leaders?
So moved.
Thank you. Thank you. I have a motion and a second. All those in favor, please indicate by saying aye.
Aye.
Those opposed, same sign. Thank you. Motion carries unanimously. All right. Section 11, administrative action items. Approval of annual review of investment policy. Ms. Jennings.
Yes, this is an annual requirement of the board. In your package, you have the investment report as of June 30th, 2023, as well as our current list of qualified brokers. Our main methods of investing right now is in our overnight funds with our checking account through Plains Capital Bank and our Cedars program, which is, we plan to continue the 12-month Cedars ladder. It's allowed us to capture a higher interest rate than our overnight funds and has helped us boost our rate of return on our investments to an average of 6.3%. We are currently not recommending any changes to the investment policy approved by the board last year. The current version, which is CDA Local 114, has been approved by our TASB representative as well. And Finance Committee has reviewed it as well.
Yes, I was going to add, Finance Committee did look at this and I don't think had any suggestions or revisions either. So any other comments?
I would just say, Shay, to you and Tim and the team, I'm very appreciative of the returns that we're getting and to our banking partner, Plains Capital. The fact that we're getting the returns that we're getting, but also have access to the money, God forbid we need it, is I would argue that we're probably yielding better than the vast majority of districts. So appreciate you guys.
All right, do you have a motion to approve the policy as proposed, including the listing of qualified brokers for investment purposes as presented?
So moved.
Second.
Okay, thank you. I have a motion and a second. All those in favor, please indicate by saying aye.
Aye.
Those opposed, same sign. Thank you. Motion carries unanimously. Approval of audit agreement for external auditor for the district. Ms. Jennings again.
Yes, we have had the pleasure of partnering with Bollinger Seegers, Gilbert and Moss, our audit firm, for several years now, and they've always done a very good job. And we are recommending that you approve the audit agreement for the 2024 audit. They're proposing an audit fee of $72,500
And that's a not-to-exceed number, correct? Okay. And this was also reviewed by the Finance Committee, discussed in Finance Committee as well. Any other comments, questions? All right, do you have a motion to approve Bollinger, Seegers, Gilbert and Moss, LLP, as a district's external audit firm for the 2023-2024 fiscal year?
So moved.
Second.
Thank you. Have a motion and a second. Thank you. All those in favor, please indicate by saying aye.
Aye.
Any opposed, same sign. Thank you. Motion carries unanimously. Consideration and approval of additional 2024 general election items. Do I have to read all these? All this?
I think so.
Okay, I'm going to read all this, so just take a collective breath. Okay. The following are the items presented for consideration and approval regarding the 2024 general election. Consideration and possible appointment of Roxine Stinson as Central Court Count Manager, Karen Cruz as Tabulation Supervisor, and Beth Bender as Central County Presiding Judge. Number 2, consideration and possible appointment of Vanessa Huzar, Sandy Salazar, Aaron Frocham, and Language USA as bilingual election clerks for the May 4th, 2024 election. Number 3, consideration and possible appointment of Ronnie Gallagher as early voting ballot board judge and Beth Shapiro as alternate early voting ballot board judge for the May 4th, 2024 election. Number 4, consideration and possible appointment of judges and rovers for each vote center for election day as shown on Exhibit 1. And number 5, consideration and possible approval of resolution to adopt use of HART Intercivic Verity Duo Controller version 2.5.3, the HART Verity Duo Writer version 2.5.3, the HART Verity Scanner version 2.5.2, and the HART Verity Duo GO for the May 4th, 2024 election. Dr. Rollo?
I have no additional information. I think you read it all. This is the last of our approval for the election.
Okay. Any questions? Do I have a collective motion, because I'm not rereading that again, to approve the additional 2024 general election items as presented?
So moved.
Second.
Thank you. I have a motion and a second. All those in favor, please indicate by saying aye.
Aye.
Can you read item 3? No.
Any opposed, same sign. All right, motion carries unanimously. Thank you. Okay. Approval of resolutions regarding the state and local cybersecurity grant program applications to the Office of the Governor. Dr. Rollo.
Yes, so this is a grant that we are applying for to address cybersecurity, and it requires board approval before we actually submit the application. There are 3 main objectives for this grant. One is governance and planning. It's funding to support incident and response planning. The second objective is assessment and evaluation, funding to test our technology infrastructure for vulnerabilities and provide an overall assessment of our security capabilities. And then objective 3 is mitigation. This is funding to provide end-of-life support for hardware and software. I would be happy to have Damon answer any additional questions you may have, but basically we're asking for your permission for us to go ahead and apply for this grant for cybersecurity protection funding.
Trustees, any questions?
What would the grant be? Do you guys know the amount of money that might be?
Yes, ma'am. Yes, ma'am. The dollar amounts are $75,000 for objective 1 and 2, and $750,000 for objective 3.
Okay. And timing on this again, and it may be in here, I just didn't.
March 14th, I believe, is when we have to have that the deadline to have that submitted to the state.
For the grant, correct?
Yes, ma'am.
You're referring to, okay, cool.
Okay.
Damon, do we submit it every year?
No, sir. This is the federal government set aside $1 billion. Each of the states divvied that up. Governor Abbott's office is releasing this to the public entities in Texas, so this is Texas's portion. This is the first year that this has happened.
Thanks to you guys for going for it.
Yeah. Absolutely.
We need to find grants for officers too, okay?
Yes, ma'am.
Right, Chief Mendoza?
Would you like a different lanyard?
Okay, anything else, trustees, on this grant? Okay. Do I have a collective motion to approve the resolutions regarding the state and local cybersecurity grant program applications to the Office of the Governor?
So moved.
Thank you. I have a motion and a second. All those in favor, please indicate by saying aye.
Aye.
Any opposed, same sign. Thank you. Motion carries unanimously. Item E, approval of resolution regarding volunteer chaplains under Senate Bill 763. Dr. Rollo.
Yeah, so as you guys have heard, Senate Bill 763 did pass out of the last legislative session, and this requires each school board in the state of Texas to take a record vote between September 1st and March 1st. So we must take a vote on this by March 1st. And after discussions with you guys, we determined that we would allow volunteer chaplains to come into our schools and work with our students, just as we have right now volunteers who come in through faith-based organizations, but it requires parental consent. And we also would not take the place of any of our current counselors or any other positions. There is no funding behind this movement at the state level, and so we feel very strongly that our school counselors are very, very important to the overall well-being of our students. They have gone through extensive training, have master's degrees, and have teaching experience. The chaplaincy program is a 40-hour online training to be a certified chaplain. We welcome them if they want to volunteer in our schools, but they would need to follow our current volunteer guidelines in order to do so. Happy to answer any questions or hear your thoughts or comments as well.
I have a comment and you're right, we did talk about all that, Kathy, and I appreciate that because that's exactly how I felt, and I've talked about it at several debates that I've recently been to. Currently, as you said, they can already go and volunteer, and to some of your thoughts and questions, I do want to add something, is that they are not allowed to go in there and they're not allowed to preach. They can't do that. We already have after-school programs that are, kids are the ones that deal with all of that, like the good news and stuff like that. But that is not something that we, the trustees or the district, deal with in any shape, way, or form. So rest assured that kids are safe in any shape, way, or form, and I'm in agreement with you. I will not support the chaplains. Again, they're welcome to come in currently and do that, but I refuse to pay them because we have amazing counselors, and we're not going to get rid of them. We need them. We have too much mental illness. We just need them for all walks of life that we need them. So thank you for coming up and speak about that.
I would just say, along the lines of Ms. Chavez as well, and Savannah, to your, we can address it because it's actually an item. Nothing that's in this resolution is changing what can be done from the past to the future. Anyone can come volunteer in our schools, assuming that they get approved and, et cetera. And so there's a lot of faith-based organizations that already do a ton of great work in our schools. And, I can't speak for the entire board, but I mean, I welcome that. Anyone who wants to come in and love on our kids, man, we could use more volunteers. If we had more volunteers, we'd have less problems.
That's right.
And so to the organizations that support the chaplaincy, I've been of the Christian faith for a long, long time. I've been a member of local churches here since I've been in Lubbock. And, I would love for a Christian chaplain to be in my kids' room and helping, teach them the Word of God. That's not what school's for. And I don't want a day where a different religion is teaching my kid. And I'm sure someone who's not a Christian doesn't want a chaplain that I may approve teaching their kid. And so I find it comical that this was ushered out of the legislature because, nobody really, when they asked questions about it, nobody could really answer it. It's unfunded, and I think it's strictly just a mechanism to get us on the record for where we're at on, religion in schools. And so, my personal beliefs, while I would love, for my kids to be able to read the Bible in school and that be part of their curriculum, it's not, and there's a reason for that. And so I don't get to always bring my personal belief or decisions in the things that we do on this dais. I assure you. But I welcome any and all chaplains to come volunteer. I think our counselors, I don't think we have enough as it is. And I think they do things, they are required to do things for a lot of various reasons that have nothing to do with counseling kids. And so I would rather our state fund counseling positions that would allow them to just be counselors.
Amen.
And so I appreciate all the folks that counsel our kiddos on a daily basis, and I think they do as well as they can.
And just for the record, I am a Christian, I am a Catholic, I'm a devout Catholic. So, but again, I have to agree with the trustee, all of my trustees, I think that we all think the same, with the exception, I think we had, was it Bill Stubblefield? That was was he for it?
Affirmative, yeah.
Yeah.
No, he wants,
Okay.
yeah, he's
He's in agreement
supporting.
with this.
Gotcha,
what-
okay.
I would
Thank
ask,
you.
both of you, are you aware, do we currently have people volunteering as chaplains in any of our?
I think so. I think we have a couple.
I honestly am not certain. I know we have Good News Club. I don't know if any of those folks are chaplains.
I don't know if they're certified. This
Right.
this is a different certification that is a specialty certification. I don't know if we have anybody that has gone through this. Do we have other people that work in Good News Clubs and things like that? Of course, I just don't know if they've done these things.
Yeah.
They've passed our volunteer process, though.
We have a couple of pastors out at Slayton.
Yeah, we have a
Yes.
lot of
Yes,
faith-based
absolutely.
organizations.
I just
And
don't know
they're
if they've done.
phenomenal.
Right, yeah,
these-
faith-based volunteers are not
Absolutely.
uncommon. Our church
Right,
does
right.
the same.
Yeah, very
Outliers,
much
we're
so.
very
Yes.
involved
Yeah,
there.
yeah.
But
We have Kids
from
Hope, all kinds of things. I just don't know what it is.
like license or whatever chaplains that
Right.
are welcome to volunteer right now. We don't, in my
right.
understanding, we don't have any. It's disappointing to me that we've been approached by so many organizations that this is something that we need to do, we need to do. But without data, we can't even consider, and to not have anyone volunteering in that role is just, it's disappointing. So I'm in full support of the volunteers and us continuing in that. But that's where I stand on it.
Anything? Yeah, I like the language in this, and that it is clear, in my opinion, that it is a volunteer basis, as we do other volunteers, and it does not supplant any other salaried position, and will not supplant any other salary position, for many reasons. So, any other comments, questions? All right. Do I have a motion to approve the resolution regarding volunteer chaplains under Senate Bill 763 as presented?
So moved.
Second.
Thank you, Trustee Chavez and Trustee Jason Ratliff. I'm sorry, I went blank a little bit. All those in favor, please indicate by saying aye.
Aye.
Any opposed, same sign.
You say flavor.
I did say flavor. Flav. I did. I'm sorry. Favor. Please amend that motion to favor. Any opposed, same sign. And I will reiterate that President Stubblefield did agree in the affirmative with this motion. So, all those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Okay, motion carries unanimously. Thank you. Okay, procurement and contracts. Rick Rodriguez, please lead us through.
Yes, ma'am. Good morning, Board of Trustees. It's great to see you all. Just have one item for district purchase for your consideration this morning. The card readers for doors. We're using safety standards grant funds to put the card readers on 179 of our doors. This is working towards the Chapter 61 facility standards that were adopted in May of '23. Be happy to answer any questions. We've currently used ESST, so they're not foreign to our district and the work that we've been doing over the past years from the secure vestibule work.
Thank you. Trustee, any questions?
You did say grant funds, correct?
Yes, sir, that's correct.
Okay.
All right, do I have a motion to approve the district purchase as presented?
So moved.
Second? Thank you. There's a motion and a second. All those in favor, please indicate by saying aye.
Aye.
Any opposed, same sign. Motion carries unanimously. Thank you. Approval of district construction purchases. Mr. Rodriguez.
Yes, ma'am. Thank you, Ms. Bridges. So we have three items for your consideration. We have a door hardware, district-wide door hardware, and miscellaneous repairs for your consideration. We have district-wide security fencing, again, not to exceed numbers that we're looking at here, and then the construction manager at risk that we brought before as a delegation of authority. We've now reached a decision on that, and you see there that Tyrant Construction has been selected for those projects at Brown, Parsons Elementary, and Cavazos and Evans Middle Schools. Be happy to answer questions.
Any questions, trustees? Well, thank you. Do I have a collective motion to approve the district construction purchases as presented?
So moved.
Second.
Thank you. We have a motion and a second. All those in favor, please indicate by saying aye.
Aye.
Opposed, same sign. Motion carries unanimously. Thank you. Approval of district construction contract renewals. Rick?
Yes, ma'am. 2 annual items that we bring to you. One of is our HVAC. This is year 5 of 5, as you can see. And so remember that these are, again, not to exceed numbers. And this, in the event that we have needs that we need to address, then we have these 2 organizations that we can tap into for addressing emergency breakdowns and those kinds of things. So that's what the first item is. And then the second one is electrical circuit installation. Again, not to exceed number. Again, year 5 of 5. So you'll be seeing, we'll be starting the process to do for the following year from now, where we'll go out again and do an RFP for both of these types of services.
So these would basically be repair issues,
Correct.
correct? So not anything capital,
Correct.
CapEx or anything like
Correct.
that?
Yeah,
Okay.
just as things break, we need a plug added here, a drop added there. These are the companies that we would tap into.
Okay. Trustees, questions, comments? All right, do I have a collective motion to approve the district construction contract renewals as presented?
So moved.
Thank you. We have a motion and a second. All those in favor, please indicate by saying aye.
Aye.
Opposed, same sign. Motion carries unanimously. Thank you. Approval of construction job order contracting delivery method and delegation of authority. Mr. Rodriguez, back to you.
Yes, ma'am. Thank you. So standard item for your consideration this morning for this delivery method and delegation of authority. So we're asking for approval for you all to delegate authority to Dr. Rollo for choosing criteria and relative weights, ranking, selection, evaluation of bids, proposals, or qualifications for producing construction services. We have 2 projects for this, one for lighting renovations at Bean Elementary, and then a PLC room renovations at Brown Elementary. Those are the 2 that we're seeking delegation of authority for.
Trustees, questions, comments? All right, do you have a motion to approve delegating authority to the superintendent for choosing criteria, relative weights, ranking, selecting, and evaluation of proposals, and approval of the use of construction job order contracting delivery method for the projects presented?
Second.
Thank you. A motion is second. All those in favor, please indicate by saying aye.
Aye.
Opposed, same sign. Motion carries unanimously. Thank you. All right, item E, approval of construction manager at risk delivery method and delegation of authority. Back to you.
Thank you. Yes, so different delivery method for this, construction manager at risk. Again, asking for delegation of authority for the same items that we just did, just a different delivery method. And so this is for roof replacement, miscellaneous repairs at miscellaneous gyms and field houses as we work towards roof type, HVAC type things. So that's what this is for.
I do. You said miscellaneous gyms. Who are they? Which gyms are they?
Well, we don't know yet, and that's why we're at least, I don't know if we've identified
Thank you, Mr. Nance.
Hello, good morning. It's as they come up for the hail claim. We are leaving it open to cover as many as we possibly can. Also not knowing which ones we may do, we may not, but there's damage pretty much everywhere. It's also getting an idea of how many we can tackle in a summer. So a lot of factors go in there. So
Start on it. You just need the approval.
yeah, this is
Got
just
you.
kind of getting
Okay,
the
so
ball
we're gonna
rolling.
have to come back here again.
Correct.
That's it.
Okay.
Right. So
Thank you.
So we're
Appreciate
looking
you,
at a
Rob.
summer timeline then,
for
potentially.
yes, we're not sure how many, but it is a summer timeline in addition to the other ones that we've been ongoing and discussed. Yes.
And they will be completed all in the summer. The ones you're going to start and finish, good turnaround. You managed to do amazing things, so I trust you.
That's the goal. That's the goal. Yes,
Yeah.
sir.
Thank you. Appreciate you.
Thank you, Rob. Any other questions, comments? All right, do I have a motion to approve delegating authority to the superintendent for choosing criteria, relative weights, ranking, selecting, and evaluation of proposals, and approval of the use of construction manager at risk delivery method for the project presented? We
We'll have
a
to cut
motion.
that short there.
No, I can't.
So moved.
Second.
Second, we have a motion and a second. Thank you. All those in favor, please indicate by saying aye.
Aye.
Any opposed, same sign. Motion carries unanimously. Thank you. All right. I believe that brings us to the end of our agenda for the open session. We have an executive closed session to be called for. Will be held under the provisions of Texas Government Code, Chapter 551, It is 9:11 a.m. and we are adjourned to closed session.
He was here for the first closed meeting, so I'll just get him to resign. That's fine.
All right, we have a quorum, so it is 9:31 a.m., and we are reconvened from executive closed session. Do we have any actions following the closed session?
Yes, ma'am. I move that we terminate the void probationary principal contract as presented in closed session.
All right. Do I have a second?
Second.
Thank you. Any discussion, questions? All right, all those in favor, please say aye.
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 Any opposed, same sign. Motion carries unanimously. Any other action items?
Yes, ma'am.
Thank you.
I move that we approve the administrative contracts for the 2024-2025 school year as presented in closed session.
Thank you. We have a motion. Do I have a second?
So moved.
Thank you. We have a motion and a second. All those in favor, please say aye.
Aye.
Any opposed, same sign. Motion carries unanimously. Thank you. And it is 9:31 a.m. And this, is that it?
Oh, sorry.
And this meeting is now adjourned. Took less than a minute for those two motions.